as female is that we're all female by default. So if something goes wrong with SRY or the events that lead to the development of male genitalia, then we develop kind of like revert back to more of a female phenotype. Even though in those individuals they might not develop ovaries, pretty much everything else develops as appearance wise as female. All right, so then let's talk about, okay, back to the original question. Why do men have nipples? Well, the thing is that one of the reasons is like, okay, nipples and areolae, they develop before birth and they develop before genitalia. But the interesting thing is that there are something called milk lines. And the thing is that we all actually, when developing the fetus, I tried to find a picture of this in the fetus, but I couldn't find it. But what happens is that we actually have potential sites of all these nipples and areolae and mammary glands. And if you look at different vertebrate animals, like when I worked with mice and was doing cancer studies with mice, they actually have 5 pairs of mammary glands. And I don't know how many pairs of mammary glands other mammals have, but this is something we see in mammals in general. Yes, humans are mammals. Now, these are embryonic mammary ridges where these nipples and areolae can potentially develop. Now, these develop before male and female sex or differentiation, so they develop before that 11 weeks. Now, the interesting thing is that these mammary glands can develop along these milk lines, but does a typical woman have 7 pairs of mammary glands? Okay, so what happens is that these supernumerary nipples undergo apoptosis before birth. So again, apoptosis is that controlled cell death, that regulated cell death. So cells are dying, but this is also your need. This is why, well, unless you do have webbed fingers, well, no problem with that. But most of us don't, because the flesh between our fingers underwent that process of apoptosis before we were born. Same thing happens with these nipples. And this is Mr. Watermelon Sugar, right? So this is Harry. I think Harry Styles. Don't go after me if I got it wrong. But I think, what is it? You can count. He has 4 of these nipples, right? And what happens is that I think he even confirmed that he has 4 nipples. So what happens with the supernumerary nipples is that, just like supernumerary testicles, is that there are more above normal numbers of these testicles, or not testicles, but nipples. Getting these confused. So yeah, these nipples, they usually disappear and they undergo apoptosis before you're even born. But what we notice here is that, hey, notice that Harry's nipples, they kind of correspond to some of these sites on these milk lines. So it's kind of interesting. It does look like nipples. And he did confirm that he has 4 nipples. Yeah, okay, got it right. It is Harry. Okay, but even before Harry, and like I know I'm kind of dating myself, like this is Mr. Wahlberg, and before he was fighting dinosaurs, he was kind of like I think I remember he used to be a rap. He used to rap. You can look it up. And yeah, so the interesting thing is that Mark Wahlberg, yeah, he has that supernumerary nipples, not as much as I think almost in the same location as Harry Styles, but he doesn't have that 4th one. But yeah, it was pretty well known that he has 3 nipples, and then what happened